Hello, intrepid experimenters. I hope you had a good week. Went back and looked at my video from last week and trying to figure out, what to read on this week. And I thought, first of all, it'd be interesting to see, did anybody experience events occurring according to the read as it was last week. The basic outcome was there was sort of a reveal going on of truth and information, and the week would end with some sort of energy actions, actions of spirit, taken at some leadership level, perhaps in your individual life, that would sort of help move us away from toxicities of the past and help us to start to heal or move from that. So I don't know, there were some interesting events that occurred on a global stage, of course, that might have fit that. If you looked at the trip of Trump to Scotland, there were a lot of protests that against that, and sort of ended yesterday with a protest move to move forward with a wind energy project. So that could be sort of how it unfolded on that big stage. Anyway, so I thought that was interesting. So I think I will continue and do another reading for this week, for the week ahead, and see what the cards want to show us is going to happen or is unfolding. I have a particular interest in events as of the August 8th, which is just outside of the range of this week, like would be the next reading. But we'll see what this week leading into that, which is sort of the Lion's Gate portal. I have a theory that the whole solar system is moving into a higher frequency realm of space, has been doing that, and that this August 8th is a critical time when maybe we finally enter into that full energy stream, and we'll begin to see the effects of that unfold. What that would mean is that we might see some additional earth movement, earth rocking over the next week as we get into it. But then I would expect to see things sort of recalibrate, balance, come to a homeostasis in this new energy stream after that. And we might see that the increasing energy causing these earth shifts balances to a new stable. So that's my theory. Anyway, so we'll pull cards and see what the week ahead is going to be like as we come up to this gate. And I'm going to use the Akashic Tarot. This is Klinger and Taylor. And I'm going to clarify it with the chakra, Tony Hartman. So hold on, I'll bring you down to the table. I have already done some pre-shuffling, and we'll shuffle up the last couple times, and then we'll throw for the week and see what we got. All right, hold tight. Oh, click like, subscribe, do all this stuff. It would really help the channel out. It would help me to grow. I have very few subscribers right now. I'm like hardly anybody watching, so, but I'm not getting feedback either that's telling me why or why not. So I'd appreciate any comments, anything you can do to help me give you the content that you want to see and that you can appreciate, and help get the word out. All right, so hold on and I'll bring you down. All righty, let's have a quick shuffle up of these. What's coming for the week ahead, starting this 1st of August. This will go up the 2nd of August, leading through to the 8th of August. What is coming for the collective, for the earth, for the collective? what is coming this week that we need to be aware of. How about that? All right. And on the clarifiers, what is coming in the week ahead to clarify? Alrighty, let us see. The signifier card, 8 of Forces, the lightning bolt. This is like the 8 of Wands. This is coming through the air, these lightning bolts. It looks like we can expect this to be a week of tremendous expression of earth energy forces. Could come as messages, could come as literal lightning events, could come as earth energy fiery events. This is clarified by vanity. Vanity. Oh, so this looks like we're going to get a bunch of messages out of the blue about related to somebody's vanity, somebody doing things to make themselves look good, thinking they're better than others. It takes me that this is a little bit of the shaman exposing the vanity of the people, who are looking on him. One wonders what they're thinking as they're holding on to their alcohol and their purses and their fine clothes. So this is something about messages exposing vanity. The challenge is the 4, birth. The 4, this is like the Empress card, the higher arcana. So, and that represents Earth herself. And here we have a birth of Earth, a new birth. And that really ties into what I've been saying, is like we're going through this process and we're challenged by it now, as clarified by quest. Again, a quest is sort of like a motion that you're on, a journey that you're on. And here we are on this Earth journey. The Earth itself is journeying through the solar system, or through the cosmos, in the galaxy, and moving within the galaxy to something. What we have control over, the Queen of Scrolls. This is like the Queen of Swords. This is about information. This is about things that are manifest out of the human mind and then put down, written as law, for instance. So you can see her as an internal law giver. We have control over how we direct our internal thinking, which scrolls we choose to read or to write, as clarified by enlightenment. So we have control over how much of this understanding we manifest in our thinking and processing. Humanity may be keeping this concept of what's happening to the earth kind of secret. It's not really secret. I think they just don't know how to they don't understand, or they don't know how to explain. This is about higher energy, enlightenment, higher frequency. And to some extent, we just have to take the reins and have control ourselves of this understanding. The recent past affecting the situation is 10, the light of the world. The light of the world, the 10 card, I think in the regular tarot, this is, let's see, coming after strength is the 8, and 9, I think, is the hermit, right? Anyway, so this represents something being shown to us in the past. There has been, and I think this is the hermit. This guy must be the hermit. Because he's in his place with his light, but he's opened the window showing the fire. He's directing people to the light of the world, you know, and there are various lights in the world. There's the light of the sun, obviously, but there's the reflected light of the moon. There's light of fire that's out of control and fire that we do control. There are many types of light in the world. And this is about expressing that. And that is clarified by recovery. It's really about remembering it. You know, we had to come to understand what light energy is, and there are different types of it. We have to recover our understanding about earth energy. That's how I read that, based on what we asked the cards. What we cannot control, the 2 of Roses, winged messengers. The 2 of Roses. I think the 2 of Roses is like, I think this is like the 2 of Pentacles. Anyway, what we have here is one that's coming down from the light and one that's coming up from the ground. And it's like these 2 things have to balance or come into balance. And as they fly over this table set for, you know, sort of earthly delights, tea, sitting outside, off from the house in the distance, you know, so I think this is about balancing earthly and heavenly desires. And that is something that's above us that we cannot control. There's some level of what's going on this week that's bringing the earth into balance with the universe, and that we can't control, as clarified by the expansion. There's an expansion of this energy between the 2, and that makes sense based on what I asked. What is our intention manifesting? The Buddha prepares. 13. The Buddha prepares. So this is, you know, talks about we are accessing our spiritual energy, and we are coming together in a consciousness. The collective is coming together. It's like we're ready. Some of us know this. There is work being done. Oh, as clarified by isolation, but we prepare in isolation. Yeah, I think there are a lot of individuals around the planet that have a sense of what's going on, but it's not in leadership. There's no leadership on the earth that understands what's happening and is working to help their people get through it. It's all individual light workers working in isolation in their different places around the planet. But that's sort of what we're doing as we face this. Where we are, how we see ourselves, is the Ark of the Covenant. So, you know, we see ourselves as committed to this, tied to this. 11 would normally be either justice or strength in the normal tarot. and maybe in the sense of the ark represents the law, and our commitment to the law is the covenant, and so that represents justice in a way. But we see ourselves as very tied to the deep historical spiritual context of earth and human relationships. It's very interesting because most of the Judeo-Christian, in fact, essentially all of the Judeo-Christian philosophy focuses on human relationships and really doesn't acknowledge all the other living entities as being equal to them in any way. So there is some sense of that we are very tied to this Judeo-Christian kind of philosophy, or we see ourselves as that, as clarified by renewal, and that we are somehow, like, we are moving from the old roots into something new. And maybe that's a more appropriate interpretation of the cards, because this could be about being attached to old ways, regardless of whether they're Judeo-Christian or any other. But we are renewing our commitment, our spiritual commitments in life. And the environment in which we sit, 2 of Keys, the treasure, the 2 of Keys. 2 of Keys, the treasure. So I think roses must be cups. This must be more like, yeah, that bonding relationship between the messengers, whereas the treasure is more about the, earthly well-being. And this guy is not finding it. He has an idea there's a light on, and there's a lot of stuff. I mean, there are treasures. He seems to be trying to figure out which is the important treasure or something. There's a contemplation going on in this card. So, the environment in which we sit, I think, is people are wondering if their personal well-being is going to survive this. As clarified by service. Oh, wow. I think this is really about the environment that's going on right now to take away help for people, whether that's Medicaid or food stamps or various other things that help people to make the most of what they have, and to be healthy. It's like we're focusing on this spiritual stuff, but around us we're not taking care of each other. Hopes and fears. The 8 of Roses, Sangha, community. So, yeah, if 8 of Roses, if 8 is cups, then the 8 of Cups, yeah, I don't know. I think this tarot just doesn't work like other tarots. So we're just going to keep reading what we see. So our hopes and fears are in that happy families kind of community, prosperous, it's clean, it's delightful, it's beautiful. There's old things, there's new things, there's stability in this and growth going on. We have plants outside the windows, a beautiful garden. So this is our hope and fear. We want to get through this as a human community, as clarified by instinct. Yeah, there's an instinct in humans to have that good community, and I think we want that. We're not seeing it now in the environment around us, and we're afraid that it's never coming back, that we're losing that. What will be at the end of the week as we go through the August 8th portal? Wow, 21, Uriel and the Sphinx. That's the portal. That's the world card. That is a complete shift into higher frequency energy beings. Oh, it's very fascinating. And how is that clarified? Facade. Uriel and the Sphinx. So it's almost like we go through a world portal that shows us everything here that's we're dealing with now is simply a facade. It's not real. When we step through into this new frequency, it just crumbles away. It was never real. Bottom of the deck. One of keys, the architect. You know, that's us. We have the key. We are the architects of how our reality will be, as clarified by gossip. Oh, that is fascinating. So, I mean, gossip is communication. Sometimes it's communication that is not based in truth. Sometimes it is. Architects of gossip. I think that underlying this week, there's going to be a lot of disinformation put out there. And it's all going to be shown to be a fraud at the end of the week. That's what I think is going on. Well, we'll have to see. All right, hold tight. I'll bring you up. We'll close it out. I have to say, that was not what I expected on that read at all. Was it what you expected, Tombo? I don't know. It's a very interesting read. Because on the one hand, it does seem to show that we're going into some sort of earth-changing energy. And at the same time, it seems to show that there's underlying this is some great manipulation, that there's some disinformation or information that has a grain of truth but has been sort of overblown or something. I don't know. So we shall see. Check in next week and see if the cards were indeed correct. In the meantime, have a great week. Click like, subscribe. All right. See you, intrepid experimenters.